A beautiful and perfect bird to make for the holiday. This is great. It's easy to make, perfect for springtime, great for Easter. Folks, this is great for any holiday if you want to get right down to it. And it is so easy to make. It's one of my latest pieces. Along with the shirt that I'm wearing, it's this exact same thing. This is one of my photographs that I took, and no, it hasn't been seriously color altered. It was just that vibrant. Folks, today I'm going to be making a Cornish hen. This is roast Cornish hen. We're doing a tart cherry compote with it, and it's flat delicious. Now I'm going to put some basmati rice on the same plate just to bring everything together. This is an easy to make yet elegant meal. Works out great for holidays. And you know what? We have March coming up. And you know, this is a perfect meal for the springtime, for any holidays during the springtime. Folks, enjoy this. This recipe is delicious. Let's get in the kitchen and get busy cooking it up. Come on. Hold it before we go in there. One thing I want to mention, please take a look at Texas Cooking Today. That's the channel you're watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, please note, there is merchandise, okay? I'm about to put out a Texas Cooking Today shirt also, in addition to the other products like this shirt and other things that I do on my website. And my website's S.A.Trotter.com. That's where you get the merchandise for Texas Cooking Today and the other goodies that I put out. The recipe is right down there in the description, so you click that link and you'll get that recipe also. Let's get in the kitchen. We'll get busy cooking. Come on. Right here's the star of our dish. We have a couple of beautiful Cornish hens that we're going to do up. And this is going to be set up with a few other neat ingredients. Of course, this is done with a cherry compote. Now folks, cherry compote, what that is simply cherries that are generally macerated and cooked up, okay? In other words, cherries with sugar that are cooked. Boom. So what I have here is just a cherry pie filling. Just that simple. And there's about, if I remember right, 20 ounces of cherry pie filling here. Now also we have some thyme and salt, olive oil. I have some wine here. Use a rosé or a white Zinfandel for this. Also some water to go with my basmati rice, and a little bit of butter for the same reason. I have some garlic. Now if you would like, you can use a clove of garlic with your cherry compote. It is an interesting offset in the flavors and it works, but you can't use too much of it. You have to be gentle with the garlic. Now another thing, you're going to need a thermometer. This is a cooking thermometer, and they're very handy when it comes to getting the right temperature on your bird and making sure things are safe. We're going to cook up our compote, and I'm going to truss up these birds, and we're going to make something really good here. As you've seen, the ingredients aren't, well, really complex, and preparing this dish doesn't take a lot of work. At the same time, it really comes across as totally elegant. If you want something that's beautiful for a holiday meal, let's say Easter, folks, this is the right meal for that occasion. This is perfect for the springtime. It's got those light spring flavors going on there. And one thing I can say about this dish, well, it seems to just work together. All those flavors come together and they work together to create delicious. Let's get back in the kitchen. We have some business trussing the chicken, getting it cooked, making that rice, and cooking up that compote. I'm going to be taking these strings and trussing my birds. Now folks, this is as simple as tying each one of the drumsticks at the end here. Pull them both together, and the loose ends of the string drape over the leg and the wing on each side. Then flip the bird over, and when you pull the strings up and to tie those wings off, everything else will get pulled in nice and tight. Truss your birds up so you can cook them up and they'll stay nice and moist. Otherwise you're going to lose too much moisture this way. Now that we have the birds ready to go in the oven, this is going to be about a roughly 1 hour to 1.5 hours total cook time, closer to the 1 hour time most of the time. I'm looking for an internal temperature of 170 degrees on those birds. All right, and that's where that thermometer comes in handy. We're going to check the temperature between the thigh and the breast. To make my compote, I need to get these cherries down in this pan. I'm going to put in about 1/2 cup of this wine right here. I'm going to add about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to let it simmer until it gets thick again, and that's when it's ready to use with my bird. Now this can be done at any time prior to the bird being finished up. I'm going to go ahead and get everything in here together, and then when it comes time to cook it in a little bit, I'll bring up the heat and do that. It's time to cook up rice, so I'm going to place my rice with my butter and the water right in this, cover it, and I'm going to cook it until the steaming slows down. At that point, I'll check it and make sure there's no water left in the bottom of the pan, and if there isn't, the rice is finished. Just cover it and leave it alone. Make sure that you simmer off those cherries. All you're trying to do is to cook off the alcohol and any additional liquid from the wine to get the syrup thick again. Once it is, you're finished. That's all there is to it. These have come out of the oven. I need to cut my string from the legs and then pull on it, and the whole thing will come out from around each bird. After that, they will hold their shape. These need to rest for just a moment. Give them about 10-minute rest time. Down in that pan you have a beautiful au jus. Just run it through a strainer, and then you can put that into small cups for your chicken. I also have the cherry compote ready, as well as the rice. The quantities of what we were using today, that was 2 Cornish hens. Now you can do as many as you'd like, but I find it nice to use a larger size hen for adults and 1 per person. It's a very easy thing to figure out. As far as the other ingredients, we're just going to be using a light dusting of your thyme, also a light sprinkling of salt, plenty of olive oil for cooking those up and keeping them good and moist. Also, we're going to be using as much as a full bottle of white Zinfandel or rosé wine. That is a full can of cherry pie filling. This was about 20 ounces. If you're going to use garlic, use 1 clove and just crush it and cook it in with that cherry compote. And once you've cooked it for about 20 minutes, remove what you can find of that garlic. For your basmati rice, it's really simple. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts of water to 1 part rice, and 1 tablespoon of butter to each 1/2 cup of rice. And that's what I did here. 1/2 cup of rice, 1 cup of water, and a tablespoon of butter with a little salt. Makes for a very good basmati rice. That's all it really takes, folks. That's one delicious way to do a bird. Now let's take a look at how these gorgeous hens came out. It is time, now that the chicken is cooked, to go ahead and get everything plated up. All right, let's take some of this rice, and I'm just going to fix a little mound of rice to one side that I'm going to kind of prop one end of the bird against. Okay, right like so. I'm going to take my bird, beautiful, lovely bird. If you want, you can drain some of those juices. As you lift it up, there'll be some on the inside of the body. It's not a problem. There we go. All right, and now for our finishing touch, our beautiful cherry compote that we want to place across the top of our bird. Oh yeah, and just let it run down the sides and right onto that plate. A beautiful Cornish hen with a cherry compote. Folks, I'm sorry, but This is so good, it's hard to resist. Let me get this down. Delicious. The cherry compote goes perfect with the bird. The flavor of the basmati rice has that herb-like flavor to it that's perfect for any rice dish that has things going on like this. It's a perfect accompaniment. Folks, this is an excellent recipe. I hope you try it. Give it a shot at your next opportunity. It's an easy recipe to do. You'll see what I mean. It doesn't take a lot of work, and it is so elegant on the plate. Thank you for watching this. Take a look, please, at Texas Cooking Today. I've got a lot of recipes on there. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I have links in the description box for where to get the caps, where to get shirts, where to get the recipes also, like this recipe. So please take a look at that. Take a look at S.A.Trotter.com. And thank you very much. Please have a good day. Now, I get to enjoy you.